back again with film recaps. In this video, I'm going to recap one of the thriller suspense films from 2003, titled Devil's Pond. Before we get to the storyline, I'd like to wish everyone a happy and great day. Without further ado, let's get straight to the storyline. The movie opens with a beautiful wedding scene, where the leads, Julianne, and her boyfriend, Mitch, finally tie the knot. After exchanging vows, Mitch expresses gratitude to Julianne's mother for organizing the celebration. He also thanks his father for not being present at his wedding, possibly due to their estranged relationship, or his father's busy work schedule. Soon after the wedding, the newlyweds embark on a 2-week honeymoon on a remote island. The husband reveals that he discovered this hidden gem a year ago, during a hunting trip with his father. In fact, the island lacks modern facilities such as electricity, television, internet, and running water. It turns out that they'll be staying for 2 weeks at an old cottage, in the middle of a secluded lake. Although a little worried about their isolated residence surrounded by water, Julianne tries to settle in, and she finds comfort in Mitch's assurance that she will be safe. Navigating through the waters by boat, the couple makes their way to the house they rented. Despite Mitch's earlier guarantee, Julianne finds it difficult to get in touch with her mother because there is no phone service. Mitch offers to return, but Julianne is eager to continue their journey despite the setback. As they step into the rustic house, Julianne's gaze fixates on the inscriptions on the walls, written by Sr. Here she discovers a tradition where visitors mark their nights spent here with hash marks. Everything appears normal, until the following day, when Julianne awakens to witness Mitch putting his truck keys in a safe box, holding the key near him like a locket. Instead of questioning him, Julianne dismisses it and continues to cherish her time with her beloved. Being an art student, Julianne immerses herself in drawing. She wants to focus on her art studies before having a kid, and Mitch, being the understanding husband that he is, supports her decision. There's a scene where Julianne tries to step into the water, but she seems too frightened to go any further, so she decides to go back to the cabin. One day, when Mitch invites her to join him in the water, she declines, citing concerns about spoiling her makeup.
No, I don't want to go in, Mitch. Get used to it. I put on my makeup and it's gonna get on.
But when Mitch insists, she agrees to rest on a raft. As time passes, Julianne slips into slumber, unaware of the impending danger. Mitch heads inside the house to tend to some tasks, while we can see that the raft begins to leak. A frightening ordeal unfolds as Julianne unknowingly falls into the water, struggling to stay afloat. Mitch acts swiftly, rescuing her from the depths. It is then that Julianne discloses her fear of water and inability to swim, and so, Mitch expresses regret, stating he would have never brought her to this place if he had known about her phobia. The next day brings an air of strangeness as Julianne confronts Mitch about the locked safe box, and the reason behind securing his truck keys. Mitch brushes it off as a security measure, but annoyance creeps into his tone as he rebukes her, arguing that he never questioned her makeup choices, so she shouldn't interfere in his matters. Feeling upset by his odd behavior, Julianne retreats inside the house, while Mitch, recognizing his mistake, endeavors to make amends and expresses his apology by constructing an easel for her. Afterwards, Julianne joins him in venturing into the woods for a hunting expedition. She even proposes a trip to the nearby town for shopping and to contact her mother. However, Mitch seems preoccupied and disregards her conversation, focusing instead on setting up an animal trap. He is then startled to discover that Julianne has vanished without a trace, and he frantically searches for her, until he stumbles upon her gathering flowers. Mitch then leads her back to the house, and abandons their hunting plans. Julianne seems to be unable to sleep, as if she's already bored and lost in that place. The next day, she brings up the topic of returning home, stating that 10 days spent in the area's natural beauty is more than enough. Expressing her excitement to start their life together, she urges Mitch to leave as she also misses her mother, but to her surprise, Mitch bluntly responds that they cannot go back until their 2-week honeymoon period is over. Julianne struggles to understand Mitch's behavior as she continues insisting on going home, which leads Mitch to explode in anger, blaming her and her mother for ruining their honeymoon. Asserting that she must obey his orders, Mitch storms off to check his traps, enraging Julianne. Desperate to retrieve the truck keys locked in a safe box, she vents her frustration by throwing things around to calm herself down. After recognizing his mistake, Mitch returns to the house and sincerely apologizes to Julianne for his rude behavior. However, the next day presents another challenge when Julianne realizes that her birth control pills are missing from her bags. She confronts Mitch about it, but he is equally clueless. This sparks another heated argument between them, with Julianne insisting they return home since she cannot live without her pills, but Mitch believes being married means they can take chances on starting a family. As Julianne persists in her desire to return, Mitch's tone turns threatening, and he commands that Julianne listen to him and tells her that they are not leaving.
Leaving!
Witnessing a significant change in Mitch's behavior, Julianne finally realizes that she must leave the place in order to maintain her sanity. While Mitch heads out for hunting, she attempts to escape by stepping into the water, but her phobia prevents her from executing her plan. The following morning, Mitch wakes up to discover Julianne nowhere to be found, but as he goes outside, he notices his wife fishing by herself, unaware that his wife is planning to escape. Taking advantage of her absence, he steals her artwork and tries to lock it away in the safe box, but Julianne arrives just in time and catches him red-handed. Among her other paintings, she notices a drawing of a bird on a tissue paper from the restaurant she used to go with her ex-boyfriend, Anthony. Considering that she and Mitch met outside that restaurant while he was waiting for a bus, Julianne suspects that it was not a mere coincidence, but that Mitch had been stalking her. Mitch defends himself by claiming that Julianne is a beautiful girl, and admits to seeing her near the restaurant a couple of times but denies any intent of stalking her. As it turns out, they've been out of town for 14 days, which causes another argument in which Julianne insists they go back to their house. However, Mitch again refuses, and it is at this point that Julianne points out that Anthony is better than him. Mitch's anger is triggered, and he resorts to physical abuse, pushing Julianne to the breaking point. Julianne strikes him on the head with a bottle, seizes the phone, and escapes to the woods using the boat. But here we see